Here's a look at your daily market report on this Thursday, the second day of October. We'd like to apologize first, as audio might not be quite as good as you're typically used to today. We're out in the field at Wheeler Livestock Auction in Osceola, and you might mention, he doesn't really talk about that one. Well, I haven't much in the past, but it's a new auction barn that we are adding to our reporting list here in the state of Missouri. So this is the first reported auction from MDA/USDA for the Wheeler Livestock Auction today. Speaking of it, they are expecting a pretty good run. It's their annual customer appreciation sale. So everybody on hand got a free ribeye steak sandwich today, and they lined up an awful impressive group of cattle with a lot of bells and whistles to offer to the buyers today. About 1,200 head here on hand. New Cambria Livestock Auction today, they're expecting to have about 500 head. No early listings from Mid-Missouri Stockyards in Phillipsburg or Mocan. That being said, Mocan is having a big special cow sale this Saturday at 1 o'clock. Their monthly replacement cow auction, they're expecting to have about 1,000 head there. Tonight, Thursday evening, two special replacement cow sales around the state. Callaway Livestock there in Kingdom City, they've got about 550 head on their early listings. That sale will get kicked off at 6 o'clock. And then Joplin Regional Stockyards, they're expecting about 700 head for their monthly replacement cow sale. And that sale will get started at about 4:30 this evening. On Wednesday, at the auction barns around the state, Springfield Livestock Marketing Center sold 908 head. The steers there were $6 to $11 higher. A light test of heifers was mixed from 6 lower to 8 higher. Farmington Regional Stockyards, they sold 842 head. Feeder steers and heifers there, $2 to $9 higher, although a light test of some light 4-weight calves sold $10 lower. South Central Regional Stockyards in Vienna, 367 head on Wednesday, not enough to really establish a market trend. Windsor Livestock Auction, they sold 861 head. Compared to 2 weeks ago, the market there was steady. Green Sea Livestock Auction, they sold 994 head. The last reported market there was about a month ago. The steers and heifers generally sold with lower undertones, except for some pot loads of some backgrounded yearling heifers, and they sold firm to $5 higher. Not really much of a test on the calves at Green City yesterday. It was mostly load lots of yearlings. The steers, medium and large ones, package or a few 7 to 8 weights brought 370 to 374. Some 8 to 850 pound steers, 356 to 364. Some 8.5 to 9 weights at 358 to 359. A load of 916 pound steers at Green City sold for 350. The feeder heifers, some 6 to 650 pound heifers at 341 to 349. Some 7 to 750 pound heifers from 364.5 to 375. A load of 826 pound heifers brought 343, and a load of 869 pound heifers at Green City bought 359.50. Box beef cutout values at midday sharply lower. Choice down $5.37 at 363.10. Select was down $2.36 at 344.53. Those values based on 82 loads of cuts, trimmings, and grinds. The Choice Select spread at $18.57. Negotiated feedlot trade so far for the week, 22,426 head of confirmed negotiated sales. Still very little's moved in the South this week. Only 25 head reported in Texas. Kansas has only reported 295 head so far. Iowa's reported 7,013 head. Live sales have been from 227 to mostly 230. Dress sales at 360. In Nebraska, they've turned in 11,441 head so far for the week. The live sales there, 230. That's $2 to $5 lower than last week. The dress sales at 360. That's $5 lower than last week. Taking a look at the futures markets, a lot of red across the livestock complex today. Just not a lot going on to really support the cattle right now. Live cattle for October, $1.07 lower at 230.02. December 232.95, down 152. In February at 235.40, down 177. October feeders 354.05, down 492. November at 352.02, down 557. And January 346.80, down 522. Lean hogs, now the October contract currently up 25 cents at 98.67. The rest of the contracts all lower. December 86.67 down 22, and February 88.45 down 57. Taking a look at the grain markets at midday, mostly higher here. The grain still getting some support from the comments made yesterday by President Trump about his meeting with Chinese president later on this month. And there was, a lot of attention being brought to the lack of China buying soybeans yet. So the soybeans jumped up higher on some hopes and dreams there, and that pulled up some of the rest of the grains as well. Corn contracts at midday, the first 3 months all up 3 cents. December at 419.5, March at 435 3/4, and May at 445 3/4. Soybeans at midday, 5 to 5 3/4 cents higher. November at 1018 3/4, January 1036.5, March at 1051.5. Wheat contracts are 3 to 4 higher. December 513 1/4, March at 530 3/4, and May at 543. Soybean meal for October up $4.30 a ton at $2.69 even. Soybean oil for October down 15 cents a hundredweight at $49.60. With the Missouri Department of Agriculture, that's your daily market report for Thursday. This is Tony Hancock.